This is game 2. So if I just do boop, should display correctly now. I think I said somewhere in the channel description or something that this is a PG-13 Twitch stream. So I can say fuck once or twice. And everyone's got to be okay with that, all right? All right. Anyway, we've got ellomius and RAND0M are ass backwards. They're going against the All Black Pandas, Guard10, and Go, who is actually Spore Freak, who is actually Go. Go is actually pretty good at this game, believe it or not. It's actually the highest ranked bot we have available, who is actually standing in for Spore Freak, seeing as Spore Freak is unfortunately working today and got called in on his day off. That always sucks. So we salute you, Spore Freak, and we are hoping that Go represents you well. Guard10 is going to use his Warthog, trying to damage the neutrals up in this top right, but those T-45s, they pack a punch when they're on socket. They do a lot of extra damage. ellomius and RAND0M are not playing around, though. This is not a game. This is life and death. They immediately come in with 6 Dillos to gank that top right outpost. They are not going to give Go the opportunity to try and negate any of this damage. Wow, 3 more Dillos, 2 more Gemini. All they need is infantry, but they were not expecting this little resistance. Guard10 not around. ellomius able to out DPS the Dillo. Just pulls that back. A couple of Buckies coming in. Pure Bucky, not necessarily that great. RAND0M and ellomius probably just going to wipe the floor with these Buckies, honestly. Guard10 getting headshot by that Angel snipe, and then the Angel proceeds to have her way with those Buckies. So the Buckies are now smoking ruin. That's okay. That's really how most players prefer Buckies. So back at the fort, we've got several socketed moneymakers, and I don't want to go too far into lecture mode, but this game is looking decided, and I'm going to say it's very likely, in part, due to these moneymakers. Reason being, moneymakers take a good 14-15 seconds to build. If you spend the beginning of the game building 4, 5, 6 moneymakers, you have wasted a full 2 minutes of time doing nothing useful. So ultimately, if you are going to build moneymakers, yes, they pay for themselves more over time if you build them earlier, but you always need to be conservative. Pump out 1 moneymaker, couple of tanks. 1 moneymaker, couple of tanks. You need to step it out and stagger that. We get another headshot. Guard10 just getting ritualistically executed on the front by that Angel. He may or may not be aware that Angel has that snipe. It's a mech that you don't see very often in 2v2. In before Rage Quit. RAND0M is not going to get taken out. He's just going to fly right back. Set up that honeypot on the socket. Honeypots will heal faster, have farther range, and auto-heal themselves when on socket. So generally, this is a very strong setup. Now, there's absolutely no defense for the blue team on their forward outpost. There's also virtually no defense on their fort. So it is on green team to end this game really whenever they feel that they can, which is right about now. So at this point, you might actually start to accuse them of BM, but what they're trying to do is if they push now, they may actually lose some units, and that might actually extend the game because it will be balanced out again. Go is a precision sharpshooter. One does not harass Go. You'll need to do better than that. So Go immediately lands and starts shooting. RAND0M is going to die here. You cannot escape Go. So gets killed. And so ellomius and RAND0M need to figure out how they're going to approach this game, but ultimately the way they need to do it is not going to be with drops. They need to build units, push those units, and just let them attack the fort. But instead they're going to try and push in towards what looks like the middle outpost. A little bit of confusion going on, a little bit of derp-tastic action with those armadillos. You try to put them on capture, they go to the absolute wrong outpost. ellomius wants to push over here, but because he was physically closer to the middle outpost, those Dillos, they got their priorities in life mixed up, and so they're getting killed, unfortunately, because Go, combined with a Warthog, combined with the mass Bucky spam, is actually a pretty decent weapon against Armadillos. Armadillos do a lot of damage, but they're pretty scrappy light tanks that don't have a lot of hit points. So they do get taken out pretty quick. RAND0M also going to get killed because he's seen by Go. And so both players getting wiped out on the green team and all of their units lost as well. So Guard10 may actually be able to pull this one out if green team keeps fumbling these. So green team going to play it really safe. Against the bot, this is a little bit embarrassing, but hey, to each their own. And they're just going to leapfrog in. They're going to take this middle outpost, and they're going to give themselves a new staging point to try and assault that close blue outpost. And that's okay. There's no judgment being passed whatsoever, man. Go is going to try and pick off tanks or players. Can't decide which, so ends up just jumping up and down in place. That way you get a little bit more jibble action in the hips. So RAND0M is going to just fly back to the outpost, build more tanks. Fly back to the outpost, build more tanks. Maybe build a couple more tanks just to be sure, because you can't really have too many tanks. They're at 50 out of 80 total upkeep. Guard10 trying to get a kill. He's switched gears. Guard10 getting the assassination in the air with this mass Vulcan, but it celebrates for a little too long. Might get taken out by these flackers, and he does, sadly. But just came in with a flying hit squad to take out RAND0M, and it worked, because who the hell builds mass Vulcans? I'll tell you who does. Guard10 does, and he got the player kill with it. Ellomius, seeing the attack of opportunity, goes ahead and moves in with all the tanks that he does have, but Guard10, being the Warthog who doesn't give a fuck, kills one Gemini already, may kill another, has a socketed Tesla tower and T-99 in the rear, and may actually be able to pick off this clump, and Go jumps into the thick of it. Can Go turn this around? Can she land with the sword? No, she's going for the player kills. Will take out Ellomius. Oh, gets distracted. Had the attack of opportunity there. Oh, and RAND0M gets the headshot, ground to air, knocking Go out of this fight. So this may be GG for the green team. Guard10 trying to do what he can, but just not enough firepower. Go dropping bombs, knocks down that overshield, but unfortunately the overshield does nullify one hit of damage. Blue team does get knocked out. That fort does go down. So unfortunately, Guard10, Go was not quite good enough to carry you through this tournament. So GG to Guard for sure. Getting multiple kills. The Vulcans actually got a player kill steal on that. So this is the guy that you got a faction steal if you're looking out. So anyway, definitely always unfortunate when a partner disappears. But that would mean that Ass Backwards, were they the winners of that? Yeah, Ass Backwards is definitely going to be the dudes for that particular one.